Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Faiza Riyani Putri. 33240010. Today I'm going to present Project 2, Introduction of Literature. There are two parts that I will present. Part 1, it has melodrama and tragicomedy, and for part 2, I have case study. So let's go into the part 1. Drama has many genres, and each one shows human emotion in different ways. In this presentation, I will talk about melodrama and tragicomedy. These two genres are still discussed in recent literary studies, and I will explain their main ideas and example. Okay, first, melodrama. Melodrama is a type of drama that focuses a lot on strong emotions. The story usually shows clear moral difference, like who is good and who is bad. And many melodramas also talk about social problem and injustice. Based on Lexicon of Global Melodrama 2022, William 2024 Elemental Melodrama, and Cambridge Drama Glossary 2024. And there are some common key features of melodrama. There is strong emotional appeal, clear moral values, focus on suffering and injustice. Audience sympathy is central and often aims to teach moral lessons. And I have two examples of melodramas. The first one is Uncle Tom's Cabin by Harriet Beecher Stowe. It highlights emotional suffering caused by slavery and emphasizes moral injustice and sympathy. And the second example is The Old Curiosity Shop by Charles Dickens. It focuses on innocent characters facing hardship and uses emotion to engage readers. Now let's move to tragicomedy. Tragicomedy combines serious themes with comic or hopeful elements. According to Hammond, 2021, tragicomedy forms of drama, and the conflicts are intense but do not end in complete tragedy. Based on Cambridge Drama Glossary 2024, and it also reflects the complexity of real life. And here are some key features of tragicomedy. There are mix of tragic and comic elements, serious moral or social issues, emotional tension with resolution, and ending avoids total tragedy, according Hammond 2021. I also have two examples for the tragicomedy. We have The Merchant of Venice by William Shakespeare. It explores justice and revenge, and it also includes comic scenes and a resolve ending. The second example is also by William Shakespeare's Measure for Measure. It is because it deals with morality and authority, and it ends with forgiveness and reconciliation. The conclusion is melodrama focused on emotional intensity and moral clarity, while tragicomedy blends seriousness with hope and humor. Both genres remain relevant in modern literary studies. They help audience to understand human experience and society. Let's move to part 2, where we have a case to be studied. For part A, we're gonna study 4 of Shakespearean drama. First is Othello. Extrinsic element of it is racial discrimination in European society at the time, and patriarchal values and male honor. Also, military culture that values reputation. It influenced to the story as Othello feels insecure because he is treated as an outsider, and his fear of losing honor make him easily manipulated. And social pressure lead him to doubt Desdemona and act violently. For Othello, the genre is tragedy, and here are some evidence why is it tragedy. First, it's Yogo's manipulation in Act 3, Scene 3. Iago repeatedly says, I am not what I am, and plans doubt about Desdemona's loyalty. The scene shows how Othello's insecurity as an outsider is exploited. And we have King Lear as the second drama. Uh, for the extrinsic elements, it have feudal system and absolute monarchy. Also, cultural expectation of children's obedience and politic importance of power and inheritance. So the influence on the story are Lear uses his authority to control his daughters. So the poor leadership causes family conflict and chaos. Also, the loss of power leads to Lear's mental breakdown. For me, I identify King Lear as a tragedy, and the evidence is on the love test scene, Act 1, Scene 1, when Lear asks his daughters to publicly declare their love. Cordelia refuses to exaggerate and is punished, reflects absolute monarchy and misuse of power. Third, we have Macbeth. For the extrinsic elements, there are belief in superstition and witchcraft, then political structure and monarchy, and also cultural views and on ambition and power. The influence on the story, the witches encourage Macbeth desires for power. Macbeth commits murder to secure political authority, and then guilt and fear gradually destroy his stability. For the genre, I also identify this one as tragedy, and it shows on scene 1 and 3, but the witch's prophecy. All hail Macbeth, that shall be king hereafter, shows superstition and belief in fate influencing action. And the last dramas from Shakespeare that we study here is Hamlet. Extrinsic elements of it are Renaissance ideas about human thought and morality, belief in gods and the afterlife, and political corruption within royal families. The influence on the story are Hamlet questions his moral responsibility and also his hesitation, delays revenge, and also political betrayals leads to widespread destruction. And for the genre of it, also a tragedy, and it shows on the Act 1 and Scene 5 when the ghost revelation. The ghost tells Hamlet that Claudius murdered King Hamlet, introduces revenge culture and belief in the supernatural. Let's move to part B. It is asked for a summary from Mr. Aaron Fox's presentation on the Cultural Festival Day. So here's my summary. The material focuses on evaluating critical thinking and analytical skills through open-ended questions, typically used in academic or professional exams. Key highlights include case study identification, understand specific scenarios, and identify root causes and address problems. Second, theory to practice. Apply theoretical concept to real-world situation using theories as tools to solve issues. Third, strategic decision making. Provide recommendation backed by logical arguments and data with risk assessment. The last four, systematic structure. Follow a structure approach. 1. Problem identification. 2. Analysis using frameworks. 3. Solution or action plan. And 4. Conclusion, predicting outcomes. And then let's move to part C, the last one. It also asks for a summary for his presentation on the same day. Literary analysis is a method for understanding how a text creates meaning, and it involves two main approaches, intrinsic and extrinsic. Intrinsic approach focuses on the text itself, analyzing elements like plot, characters, setting, themes, word choice, and symbols. And for the extrinsic approach, looks like at external factor like the author's background, historical context, social condition, culture, politics, and ideology. And here's all the reference that I use for my presentation. That's all for me. Thank you for listening. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.